It was a long weekend of forgetting math. That's okay. Okay. So what is m? If we look at our note sheet, 2/3. And remember, slope is the number multiplied by x, because multiplied starts with an m. M represents slope, so m equals 2/3. And then what does b equal? -1. Why is it -1? Because it's the number by itself. Remember that in the top of your note sheet when we were learning slope-intercept form? That's what you did for the whole 4.8 worksheet. You had to identify. I know it looks a little different, like the formatting is different, but you're doing the same thing. Okay. So if my y-intercept is -1, I have to plot the point 0, -1. So I'm going to start at my origin and not go left or right because it's a 0. The x is a 0. So I'm just going to go down 1. And if my slope is 2/3, I'm going to go up 2, because rise over run, over 3. So now I have at least 2 points and I can make my line, right? So make sure you use your straight edge. Oh. And arrows. Okay? So my y-intercept, whenever you're graphing a line based on an equation given or based on your slope and y-intercept, you always have to plot your y-intercept first. I've seen people find the slope first and then try and graph that, and like they look at it like it's an ordered pair, but this is the slope, it's the rise over run. So you have to find the y-intercept. You have to plot the y-intercept, and then you do the slope. Okay? Go ahead and flip to the back. This is what we're going to be working on today. It's coming up with the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation by just looking at the line. That might sound kind of hard, but it's honestly the same work that we did when we were learning about slope. But you're not doing the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 stuff. You're just doing rise over run, which I think is, and I think you think the same thing, I think it's significantly simpler. So what do we do? What's the first step in finding a slope of a graphed line? Right, but we have to find something before we can determine the rise over run. Right? What do we have to find? What are you doing? Come back in.
What's that one?
We have to, it starts with an L. We have to find lattice points. Good. You all remembered that, right? You have to find the lattice points before you're able to find the slope. So here's a lattice point. There's a lattice point. And we got lucky enough that one of the lattice points is the y-intercept. It's where the graphed line crosses the y-axis, right? So, again, we always are reading left to right. So I'm looking at the line from left to right. So I'm going to start on my left point, my left lattice point, and I'm going to go up 2 and over 1. So what's my slope going to be? 2 over 1. Is this clicking for everybody, or is AJ the only one who remembers it?
I get it.
Everyone remembers? At least slightly? I hope. Man, you guys are quiet today. I'm sleepy too. It is a Monday.
I'm bored.
Okay, so my slope is 2 over 1. That's my m value. What's my b value? The y-intercept. 1. So I'm going to write b equals 1. And now, someone besides AJ, I appreciate your help, but I want to make sure everyone else is getting it. If this is the slope-intercept form,
2.
what?
2 over 1.
2 over 1
Plus 1.
plus 1. I'm leaving something out though. What is it? x.
Oh,
So then this is what my equation looks like. So if we started with this equation, it would be the same work that we did on the front of the opener, right? We were given the equation, and then we graphed the line. So the y-intercept is 1, and we went up 2 and over 1, right? And that's a good way you can check your work. After you get the equation, you can check to make sure that your y-intercept is in fact 1, and that you're going up 2 and over 1. Because here's another lattice point, right? Remember, because there can be more than 2 lattice points, up 2 over 1. All right, does that make sense? Everyone remember that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe?
I got it.
Okay. All right, go ahead and pass your openers forward and down to Kalon, please.
I